uploading a video of a man I met on the street yesterday who built a sledgehammer from rebar. But that's going to be an upcoming video. Now, what I wanted to talk about today, well, first of all, we're in the rainy season and also the typhoon season here in the Philippines. So about 2 weeks ago, I looked at the AccuWeather 2-week forecast, which is it's probably I think they throw darts. I think they throw darts at a board, or they have a magic 8 ball, because their 2-week forecast, basically it said rain for the next 2 weeks. But the days they said it was going to be sunny, we had typhoons, and the days they said it was going to be rain, we had sun. So their weather reports here in the Philippines are about as accurate as the news in America. And I've been saying this my whole life. These newscasters, some of them make $100,000, $200,000 a year to give you the news, the weather, and they can't get that right within 72 hours. I mean, what's the point? Really, what's the point? And now they have buoys out all over the oceans. Supposedly they have satellite imaging from satellites that are supposed to be revolving around the flat Earth. And they also have pressure sensors and barometers all over the place, where all of that's supposed to go into a computer, and they still can't get it right. They still can't get it right. And this is going on now 50 years they've had all of this stuff. Well, the buoys are pretty new. But let's talk about the vaccines, that they are they're rolling out the vaccine as a compulsory product that you need to have for certain businesses in the Philippines, including Globe. Globe is a big internet provider. I'm sure Smart is also making their employees get the vaccines. I saw 2 Globe agents at the hospital yesterday that I didn't know. Otherwise, I would have said hello to them and made a video about them. The 2 that come to my house are different than the 2 that were on the line. So, but they're making it pretty much. They're requiring it to have work here in the Philippines for the larger companies. Now, I'm going to say it again. I don't understand what you people don't get, but I'm going to go to my channel. Give me a moment to go to my channel, please, and then let's see what we have here. Which one is this? This is channel content. This is home videos. Okay, best homemade hammer. I should have a live screen up here. Okay, there we go. Let me get to my there we go. Let me get to my notes. Hey, Jim. Good morning. Hey, Jim. I saw you working your magic on that Globe Travels video where she sent you her telephone number. Jim working his magic, his Hawaiian Big Island magic. That was you yesterday, right? I saw. Well, Jim, we're not going to talk about climate change because YouTube is going to crack down on the conversations about climate change. So we're not going to talk about climate change on my channel. Thank you very much. I don't even follow climate change, to be honest with you. I don't know anything about it. It's not anything I've ever done any research on. I never cared much about climate. I worked outside my whole life. If it was raining, we worked in the rain. If it was sunny, we worked in the heat. Um, if it was snowing, we'd get a shovel and shovel the snow off the deck and set up the tools. And if it snowed on us while we were working, well, then maybe we'd quit at 2 instead of 4. But as far as climate change is concerned, the climate doesn't affect me one way or the other, except that it's hot here in the Philippines. And as the older I get, the more it wears you down. So I'll be starting work earlier to avoid the heat. But as far as climate change is concerned, YouTube has new rules coming out regarding climate change. You're not allowed to talk about that. So please don't do it again. I know you don't know about the rules of YouTube, but I try to keep up with that stuff. So what I'm gonna talk about is, well, the Philippines. The Philippines never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me. So yesterday, my prescription for a certain medication, which is this medication here, fluxloxacillin, and this is 250 milligram capsules. But my prescription was for 500 milligram capsules. So I'm going to talk about the shortage of certain medicines in the Philippines, although it seems to be a rotating shortage. This is what I mean. It never ceases to amaze me, the Philippines. So the first thing I want to talk about is when I went to the hospital yesterday, there were, from the time I got to the hospital at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I signed in. Now, fortunately, I signed in early enough to be out of the hospital by 11:30. However, after I went to the hospital and signed in, there were still people ahead of me, a dozen. I think I was number 8 on the list, and somehow they did it again. They put my name underneath someone else's name, underneath someone else's name, underneath, and I counted 12 people ahead of me instead of 8. And there's no reason for that, other than the fact that I'm paying the long nose taxes that you get pushed to the bottom of the pile, and the Philippines people get pushed to the top of the pile. And I'll tell you why there's no reason for that. Everybody at the hospital knows me, and I even brought 50 snacks with me to the hospital. And the same people I gave the snacks to were the same people that had the paperwork that kept putting my name under someone else's name. Now, there's a list that you sign in at the hospital, and I was number 8. But I counted 12 people that went before me until I went up to the fella, and I said, "Oh, when am I supposed to be going?" And sure enough, my name was second on the pile. I said, "Dude, it's not reasonable that you put my name under someone else." "Well, sir, this woman is in a hurry." I said, "Well, everybody here is in a hurry. Everybody here has other things to do. Please don't do that." "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." There you go. "Yes, sir." The "yes, sir," that's one of the Philippines' most famous. "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." "Yes, sir" means exactly what I'm going to tell you what it means. It means, "Yes, sir, I heard your words. They don't mean anything to me, but yes, sir, they don't mean anything at all. I heard them, though. Yes, sir." So I get into the hospital now, because you have to wait outside. And now I'm in the chair waiting to see the doctor, as now I'm number 13. And a woman walks in the door, and the guy who put my name underneath everybody else's sheet, or 4 times, the woman walks in the door, and as the woman walked in the door, the doctor that I was going to see, the patient that he was writing up a report about, stood up and walked out. The woman sat down in the chair. And I said to the man, you know, am I correct? Should I be going? Yes, sir. But she's in a hurry. So, you know, my advice to you is, if you go to a, what my advice to you? Well, you have to stand in front of the guy with the paper so he doesn't put your name as a second or a third down. It's amazing. Why would they do that? Why would they do that to somebody that brings snacks to the hospital when I go to the hospital, and then snacks to the hospital even when I don't go to the hospital, and everybody knows I bring them snacks for the whole hospital? Why would they do that? There's no reason for it, other than that you are in the Philippines basically a second-class citizen. Even you are contributing more to the community, tax-wise, money-wise, hiring people, doing stuff around the community, buying products, buying goods. You're a second-class citizen in the Philippines. You have to understand that when you move here. That's one of the reasons why people move out of the Philippines. Now, being in business for such a long time, I kind of grew thicker skin to this kind of crap. And now that I know it exists, I'll just put my chair right next to the guy with the papers. So if I'm number 8, I'm going to put my body 6 feet away from the people he's calling, so he can't flip the paper on top, somebody else on top of me. Now, was it important? I have other stuff to do. I had a lot more to do than anybody else at that hospital yesterday. There was nobody that had more stuff to do than me. And they don't know that, of course. So now, let's talk about the suits they were wearing. The thumbnail represents the kind of what I guess you'd call it a biohazard suit. Now, I told you this was going to happen a year and a half ago. I told you they were going to put us in spacesuits eventually. When I put that stupid water bottle over my face and made it as a mask, as a plastic mask. Remember that? Remember the plastic water bottle I put over my face and I made a mask out of it? Well, I told you they were eventually going to put us in spacesuits. This was not, the virus is not going away, dudes and dudettes. It's not going to happen. They're going to continue along with the process of getting everybody vaccinated. And proof of this is now you can believe what you want. Now, there are people that I tell this stuff to and they say, oh, that's made up. A lot of the news is just created out of nothing, out of thin air. I could tell you stories about shit that happened and the dates in 1980, 1981, 1977, 1979. I could tell you the story, the date, and the names of the people that were there, but the news reported it differently. So who am I to contradict the news? But the news is now reporting that Russia is 100% on board, preparing for the 4th wave of the virus, whatever that means. And to back up their program to get everybody vaccinated, they put out numbers. The statistics from RT, I'll give you that link. The statistics from RT are 28,000 people a day are getting the virus. 28,000 people a day. That's a record number maybe in the world. So Russia was, in the beginning, Russia was not so much on board with this, but now they understand. They understand the need to follow the program. Russia does indeed. Oh, I see. I see. I gotta get a pot. I gotta get. Oh my God, the Italian broiler. They want your brain dead. That's for sure, Italian broiler. Let me bang something. I got. I have a compulsory thing to bang something. I know what I'd like to bang on, but the guy won't get in the ring with me. But I know what I'd like to be banging on, and we've already questioned and argued the point. Please get in the ring with me and prove to us, prove to me anyway, how tough you are, you little fella. The little fella. He never. He wants to fight people. He wants to crush people's heads. He wants to beat people up, but it's all inside his brain, his little brain. So, Italian brawler, they definitely want your brain dead. And we talked about this years ago, my friend, years ago. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Italian brawler, for the super chat. And remember, the Pope put out a papal for all good Christians to be vaccinated ASAP. I'm not sure if it was a papal or a suggestion, but the Pope is 100% on board with this as well. And well, he should be, because his congregation is so important to the Pope. So if you weren't sure as to whether or not what I told you, people, quote unquote, I told you, this was coming back in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 20. I said this wasn't going away, and it's not going to go away until every man, woman, and child on earth has gotten vaccinated. It's not going to go away. So what you need to do is get on board with this program, because they're not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It'll never. People say, well, it'll get better once everybody's vaccinated, and that may be true, but I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I see. We went from a vaccine with Mr. Trump to a vaccine program. Program means multiple. And we went to that, and now we have the second wave, the third wave, and now Russia is seriously preparing for the fourth wave of vaccinations. So they're pretty sure they want everybody to be vaccinated. This is not like a joke anymore. Russia, who was originally on the fence, so to speak, is now sure that you need to be vaccinated. So, and they're going to do it. It's going to happen, with or without your consent. It's going to happen. So that's just the way it is. So we don't really have to talk about that much anymore. Italian brother, thank you very much. I wish I knew who you are so I could say hello and thank you in person, but as an anonymous person, you've been very generous to me. Italian Brawler has, when the girls were online, and the girls may very well be coming back this Friday. Ariana is still out of town, so we don't know about the girls altogether, but I did invite them out again for this Friday. Bantayan Brawler, he donated $49 to the Super Chat on the day the girls came, and long before that, 20s and other $49 Super Chats. So, and I have no idea who that man is or woman, whoever it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a man, but I'm pretty sure. So let's get back. Thank you, Bentalion Bro. Let me read the comments. Okay. They'll never find me on the Bantayan Island. I'm hiding in my stable, says the Bantayan Brawler. So the Bantayan Brawler could very well be a horse groomer. He might be a jockey. He might be like a 5'1" jockey calling himself the Bantayan Brawler. Because if he's hanging out in a stable, that's where jockeys and John Escape would know about that. John Escape spends a lot of time in a stable as well. Stable, horse stable, because John owns horses. His family's had a horse business for 90 years. So for all I know, the Bantayan Brawler is John Escape, but I don't know who you are, and I thank you very much. I'll give you a freaking shout out. Another bang on the pot can't hurt, right? Thank you. Oh, salamat. So, getting back to the hospital staff at the hospital I went to yesterday, they're in these biosuits, right? Philippines never ceases to amaze me. They're in a biosuit. Now, when they walked outside the building to talk to the nurse who's calling the names for the vaccination shots, that's a separate line. The vaccination line was hundreds of people long. There were hundreds of people all the way out into the street. But the doctor's line was shorter. It was only, well, when I got there, I was number 8. Turned out to be number 13, but that's, so when they walk outside, they take off the full face mask. So they have this biosuit with a full face mask on, with breathers, and then they have on for their shoes. Look at their shoes. Their shoes are Crocs, Crocks, Croc shoes, rubber shoes with no socks. Come on, man, that's just amazing. So, and a lot of the hospital staff wears Crocs with no socks. Crocs with no socks. Crocs with no socks, baby. I don't know where the rationale to that is, but it's acceptable. So when I say a lot of the hospital staff, I'm talking about 30% have Crocs on their feet with no socks. Crocs with no socks. And I don't see how the biosuit and Crocs with no socks don't kind of like cancel one another out, but that's how it is here in the Philippines. So that's what I saw at the hospital, and I got there at 8 o'clock. I saw my doctor, the doctor who treated me 2 times ago. He was not there last time. And we went over my medical record, and we went over my blood work, the cardiac panel that they requested. And he said to me, Michael, have you thought about getting, he's a cool guy. His name is, well, I won't say his name, but he poses these questions not as demands. He poses what he wants you to do as a question, which is pretty brilliant if you ask me. So, have you thought about getting a culture on your wound? And I said, yes, sir. When I went and got the cardiac panel, I went to Romero Hospital, and the laboratory in Romero Hospital was closed. And I went to that was one day. Then I went to Ace Hospital on a different day, who did the cardiac blood work, the cardiac panel blood work, but their laboratory doesn't do cultures. And I said, can you get me a culture? No, sir. And, continue. No, sir. Why? No, no, sir. No, sir. Okay, can you get it this afternoon if I come back? No, sir. When can you get it? I don't know, sir. Are they doing cultures? No, sir. Do you know when they're going to be doing cultures in your laboratory? No, sir. Have they done cultures within the last month? No, sir. How long has it been closed, the culture department? Months, sir. So I had to ask like 7 questions. Why? To a nurse with a college education, she should have just given me the information. The culture, no one's taking cultures. So no one is taking cultures at the hospital to do a culture of my wound. And then when they did a culture in October, they couldn't find anything. Romero Hospital. And I told that to the doctor, and he said, well, I find that hard to believe. I said, well, call up Ace Hospital and ask them if their culture center is open, and I'll go there right now. And he said, no, I'll take your word for it. Now, it may very well be open, but the girl didn't know when the culture center was going to be open. This is it's like somebody throws darts at a board, and it's going to be, no one knows what's going on as far as the laboratory culture work is concerned. The Romero Hospital was closed, the culture center, or when I asked about the cultures yesterday, no, sir, we're not doing cultures at this time. Well, how are they finding out what's wrong with people? I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, moving on to my next topic, I'm going to tell you how hard it was to get the medicine that the doctor prescribed for me. How hard it was? I counted 17 pharmacies. I went to 17 pharmacies. So the first pharmacy, and I want to talk about 360, the pharmacy. The first pharmacy was in Panglao, across from the San Augustine's church that I went to. And before I went to the doctor at like 7:45 in the morning, I stopped in the pharmacy to see if they had my medicine that I knew I was going to get yesterday. And they don't. Now, they didn't have it last time, or the time before that, or the time before that. So that's why I preempted, went to the pharmacy. So they didn't have this medicine. 360 did not have this medicine in Panglao. Not in 250 milligram or 500 milligram. So then I went to the hospital itself, and their pharmacy didn't have that medicine either. But the doctor prescribed it for me, and I knew of a place in the city after I went to 7 pharmacies 2 weeks ago for it. So I got off the. This is something you should concern yourself about before you go looking for a medicine. I don't know. You really can't call these places up. To be honest with you, most of them don't answer the phone. But this is something, if you're coming to the Philippines, you should be concerned about. If you need medicine, you should find out where you can get this medicine outside of the pharmacy industry in the Philippines, because I got off the jeepney and I went to a place called Pharmacia. They didn't have, now I have a prescription from the doctor. They don't have it. Then I went to Rose, ROSC, Rose Pharmacy. Rose didn't have it. That's two, right? Before, Rose recommended that I go to, what's the name of that other? Rose recommended that I go to the pharmacy across the street. What the heck is the name of that place? Rose and, well, there's a big pharmacy right across the street from Rose. So the first pharmacy, no. Rose, no. The pharmacy across the street from Rose that they recommended, no. The pharmacy in the BQ Mall, no. Now there's a Watson's Pharmacy. Watson's Pharmacy, that's 5, right? Watson's Pharmacy, and I'll tell you right now, I'll show it to you. Watson's Pharmacy, there's the date, somewhere there. Watson's Pharmacy had 4 pills. 4 pills at 48 pesos each. 4 pills at 48 pesos each. And the date, is on there somewhere. And also Watson's Pharmacy is now charging for paper bags. You see the below the number 4, paper bag brown. And I'm going to tell you something. It's only a tenth of a peso, but I don't take the paper bags from the pharmacy. But they're still charging you for a paper bag. It's an added charge, whether you take a paper bag or not. Unless, of course, you could remember to tell them, I don't want a paper bag, which I always tell them from the beginning. I don't want a paper bag. We're going to put it in my bag, which I have a bag. So they're charging you a tenth of a peso or a hundredth of a tenth of a peso right there. That's Watson's is charging you for that, but also 360 is charging. Now, I didn't take a paper bag. And now 360 also has a paper bag charge. But here, you can see I didn't take a paper bag. So there was no charge. Now, I tell them right up front, no bag, before they ring it up. Because, first of all, I don't need all that damn shit in my my bag. I try to be as environmentally friendly as possible, but I don't take a paper bag. So this one had the 250 milligram. And so I just don't take a paper bag when I go to the pharmacy or almost anywhere. I don't take a paper bag. I have a goodie bag that I just throw everything in the bag independently of one another, unless it's specifically office supplies or something like that. So they're charging you now for a paper bag, even if you don't get a paper bag, which, you know, it's just an added expense that you don't really need at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't matter that it's a tenth of a penny or not. It's a question of, if you don't take a paper bag, then don't charge me for a paper bag. But now they're all putting paper bags on. Unless you tell them before you make the order, the paper bag goes on the list. So all pharmacies are also charging exactly the same price for the same medicine. All. There's no more. So we're back to Watson's Pharmacy. Here is the price at the top. Watson's Pharmacy, 48 pesos per pill. And that's Watson's. Okay? Now, if you go here, 360 Pharmacy, paper bag, no charge because I told them up front. But I always say up front, no bag. And they actually know that I don't take a bag. But anyway, so in this pharmacy, it's 48.3 pesos per pill. All pharmacies, all. Now, I went to 17 places yesterday. I could name them. Well, I could show you where they are. But I went to 17 places to get... Oh, yeah. Okay. Rose recommends Mercury right across the street. Thank you, Tommy. Yeah. So I went to the Pharmacia. Then the next online was Rose. Rose recommended Mercury, which I went to. They did not have it. Thank you. That's the other big pharmacy. Then I went to the BQ Pharmacy. That's 4. Then I went to Borja Hospital Pharmacy. That's 5. Then I walked up to Romero Hospital. That's 6. Because I wanted to get a culture. And I had a prescription to get a culture done for the wound on my leg. That's 7. They didn't have it. Now, right across from Romero Hospital are 4 more pharmacies. That's 10. And none of those 4 had it. That's 10. Then I went to BQ Mall to pick up this another 5-gallon bucket of paint. Another 5-gallon bucket of paint right there. Elastomeric paint. And that stuff is $65. $65 for a 5-gallon, an 18-liter bucket. And that's what I've been using around here, the last American. So we're up to what? What did I say? 10 pharmacies, right? So 10 pharmacies up to the Romero Hospital. Then when you walk up the block from Romero Hospital to Build-A-Ware, there's a small pharmacy on that block. That's 11. They didn't have the medicine. Now, some of them had 1 pill, some of them had 4 pills, but no one had the whole order. So that's 11. Now I went to Build-A-Ware. I got my supplies. I also bought many other things from Build-A-Ware for the container outside, for sorting out the goods in the container. Build-A-Ware has the best prices for masking tape. The best prices for masking tape. By far, I don't know why it's so cheap there. It's like a draw. And they also have the best prices for box tape, surgical box tape. These were only, I think the price is inside them. Were they 45 pesos per roll? $45 pesos per roll. So 45 pesos for a roll of surgical box tape, and I got three of each. Oh no, and these were also at the best price. These are 2 1/4 inch, and these are 72 pesos. Now, if you go to BQ Mall and you buy this at the arts and crafts store, they're about maybe 10 or 12 more pesos. But if you're buying 10 rolls and each one of them are 10 pesos more, that's another 100 pesos that you don't need to spend. And then the quality of tape at Build-A-Ware is better. So anyway, we're up to 11 pharmacies by the time I got to Build-A-Ware. Oh, by the way, I'm so freaking broke that I'm buying paint and dozens of rolls of tape at a time. Not dozens, but 9 rolls of tape when I already have stock, because I have something coming up where I'm going to need tape. So anyway, that's 11. Then I walk back from Build-A-Wear. There's a Watson's that I showed you the paper for. They had 4 pills. That's 12. Then there's some little teeny pharmacy that's a few doors away from Watson's. That was 13. They don't have any of that flux, this stuff here. They didn't have it. That's 13. 13. Then I went to, then I started walking from those pharmacies. I started walking up the road to the ICM Mall. And I got about a half a kilometer on the main road, and there was another 360 pharmacy on the corner where the jeepney makes a turn. That's 14. They didn't have that either. 14. Then I went up the road again towards the ICM Mall, and there was another pharmacy. There's a bunch of pharmacies on the way there. I stopped at 2 more. And then I saw the jeepney coming, and I said, you know what? I have half my order. I'll have to come back next week and start again in the city, because I didn't really feel like walking 4 more kilometers to the ICM Mall. It was raining, and I had already walked 5 kilometers that day. So I get to the ICM Mall after 16 pharmacies, and I said, you know what, let me try the pharmacy at the ICM Mall, because now they've never had any medicine I've needed in the last year, ever. They've had no amoxicillin, they've had no clindamycin, and they had no fluoxetine. They had none. And I get online, and sure enough, they had the whole order. So they fulfilled my order. So this is a pharmacy that in a year has never had what I needed, and yesterday they had. So it's not a question of whether or not they are stocking this stuff. It's a question of the medicine not being available, because the Watsons I got 4 from, last time I got 7 pills. So that I took all their 7, and this time they had 4 left. So they are stocking, they are ordering the pills. The pharmacies are definitely ordering these supplies, where the little pharmacy that I got 1 from, they used to be able to fulfill my entire prescription. But they had 1 pill yesterday. So basically, I had to literally physically walk into 17 pharmacies to get 33 pills. Because they are ordering the medical supplies, but they're not getting the medical supplies they're ordering. And I don't know why. It's not that. Well, one thing I will tell you that was upsetting is that for the pharmacy that's always been able, a little teeny little, it's only 12 feet wide, this store, they've always had all the medicine I ever wanted. I said to them, look, they know who I am. They know me by name. We have a rapport, like a hello and good morning and all that other happy nonsense. But I said to them, look, I'd like to give you in advance the money for this prescription. No, sir. Well, I'll give it to you because I have some of the pills I need, and you order it. And then maybe, if you have it within 4 days, then I can come back. And if you don't, I'll just take my money back in 4 days, because I had 4 pills, 4 days supply at that time. No, sir. So no pharmacy will take in advance. I've asked other people as well. So they won't take in advance. They won't pre-order it for you. They won't let you order it and then call you up and tell you when it's ready. They won't do any of standardized pharmacy type stuff that we have in America. They don't do that. Like we had a pharmacy that I used to install hospital beds for, Heller's Pharmacy in Howard Beach, or even the RX place on Cross Bay Boulevard. If you call them up, you order your prescription over the phone, and if they didn't have it, they'd say, we don't have that, but we'll send somebody to your house tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock with the medicine. Can you wait? You could either wait or you can't wait. But they would send out a driver. They don't do any of that stuff here in the Philippines. You got to do the legwork. So to do the legwork, to walk to 17 pharmacies, I did 5 kilometers of walking yesterday. Easy 5 kilometers. If you looked at a map of Tagbilaran, then you'd understand that, oh yeah, there was another, maybe it was 18, because there was a pharmacy in the Galaris Mall that I went to. Yeah, that it could have been 18. Yeah, I went to that farm. It was a Watson's, and they had 2 pills, I think it was. I forget. 17, 18 places I went to yesterday. So let me read the comments, and then you people that get hidden on my channel, I don't understand why you come here at all. Tommy, thank you for reminding me about mercury drugs. Yeah, that's the big one. Tommy says, amazing. All Behold don't have. Now, there was another hospital that I could have went to. It's the college hospital that I passed with the jeepney. But I just said to myself, I didn't want to walk. Well, you got to get off the jeepney and then walk another half a kilometer there and back. And I just didn't want to walk anymore. I had other stuff to do. It wasn't like this medicine was, I had half my prescription by 1 o'clock, but I still had a shop I wanted to get more pork. I wanted to go to Bahico Electric. Let me tell you something let me give you a heads up on shopping in the Philippines. Monday, which was yesterday, is just not a good day to go to the supermarket at all, or mercury drugs, because I waited, it seemed like a long time, but 15 minutes in mercury drugs for my number to be called to find out if they had the medicine. So that's a long time. That takes a lot of your day up. So when I got online at 2 o'clock in the do not go to the supermarket on Monday, because every sari-sari store owner has a shopping cart plus of the foods they need to replenish their stock that they sold over the weekend. Basically, Monday is a shopping day for the sari-sari stores. I waited online a full hour online. That's a long time. That's a long time to be on a line, especially when half the registers are closed down, because they only open up every other register, which is ridiculous, because if there's an hour wait, it's just showing, the supermarkets are just showing you they don't care how long you wait online. So every single person online in front of me and in back of me had one shopping cart with several hundred pieces of sari-sari store goods. Don't go shopping on Monday. Now, I did it because I needed the medicine. I was out of medicine, but don't go shopping on Monday. Go shopping on Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm done with shopping at 3 o'clock. They did the 3 o'clock prayer, supermarket prayer, which jammed me up again for 3 more minutes, because you got to stop and, pay homage to the Lord. And if you don't, they look at you like you're Satan's envoy. So when they put the prayer on, most people stop, almost everyone. So I wait for that. I go up the elevator to Bahico Electric. Don't go to the city on Monday. I'll tell you right now. Bahico Electric. Now I don't have an electric bill. Well, everybody has an electric bill, but Bahico Electric at 3 o'clock, the line was 2 hours long, and I said to the guy in there, I was laughing when I walked into Bahico Electric. I said, because the line was all the way down. It was down 2 stores in both directions to wait. They put chairs out for the people. It might have been 40 people outside the store and then another 20 inside Bahico Electric. Might have been 60 people at 3 in the afternoon. So he says, sir, take a number. I says, no, you take that number. You give it to somebody else. So we laughed, and I left, and then I went and got I got a tricycle and came home. But don't go shopping on Monday. It's just not a good idea. Okay. I did see a video about that. The Great Bomber Waffle House and Resto Bar. The Great Bomber. I love Bomber. He's such a unique. He's a character, but unique. He doesn't do it. Anybody that doesn't like Bomber, I understand why some people don't like Bomber, but me personally, Bomber doesn't affect me in a negative way at all. It kind of makes me smile. So I did see a video, more than one video, about the breakdown of the supply chain worldwide. I also saw a video, I think it was Southwest Airlines yesterday. You talk about in the same suggested page of watch this video on our suggestions page, there was a video about the worldwide supply shortage or supply chain shortage. So that person that made that comment is true. But there was also on the same page, Southwest Airlines canceled 1,800 flights yesterday, which has to also contribute to a shortage of goods because, airlines carry commercial goods as well as passengers. So I don't know. I didn't see what that was about, but they shut down 1,800 flights. That's a lot of flights in one day. In other words, basically, the airports were still open and there were still flights coming in and out, but 1,800 flights had been shut down. I don't know what airline was flying in and out of that airport, but I didn't watch the whole video. I fell asleep while I was watching it. So there are shortages of stuff. Now, let me make sure I covered what I wanted to cover. Let me go back to the channel. No. Oh, I want to show you a picture. I want to show you.
One thing I'm telling other managers.
I want to show you a picture. I'm on the street yesterday, right? I'm on the street yesterday. I'm walking to the Romero Hospital. It's going to be in the video I post tomorrow, I guess. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Okay, so I got the picture. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm walking to the Romero Hospital, and when I walk, I observe everything on both sides of the street. In fact, that's how I met Scott Del Fuego. My situational awareness, Scott mentioned that my situational awareness was amazing. And that was going on 2 years ago, 2+ years ago. when I was walking in Panglao from Poblacion to the church, and a guy walked by me and was naked. This guy was naked too. I'm not talking about a guy that had a pair of underwear on. He was naked, and he's been naked since I got here in Panglao. At some point, they made him wear clothes, but I saw him just the other day naked. He had on he had a rag over his neck that was just like a collar of a shirt, but no shirt, no pants. He was walking down the road naked. He's been naked for 7 years. I guess he has clothes somewhere. I don't know where. I don't interact with him much. But so my situational awareness when I walk down the road is pretty. I pay attention. I pay attention so I can make a video, but I also pay attention to where I am at any one time. I'm walking down the block, and there's a sledgehammer on. There's a sledgehammer on the floor, but it's not a sledgehammer. It's not a sledgehammer. It's this. This is what it is. It is the most unique hammer I have ever seen in my life. It's a sledgehammer. The senior line in Bajico Electric, there might have still been 20 people ahead of me on the senior line. And not only that, in the pharmacy, that's a good advice. But the senior line in Bajico Electric probably had 20 seniors ahead of me. I'm just not prepared. There are other times to go to Bajico when you just walk in and there's 2 or 3 people. Thursday, Wednesday afternoon, Friday morning, Bajico Electric is empty. Just 2 or 3 people. But the senior line, if there were 60 people, there might have been 20 seniors. I did look at that possibility. And as far as going on a senior line in the drugstore, you have to have a senior card. And in order to get a senior card, you have to be a Filipino citizen to get a senior card in the Philippines. And at that point, you get a 20% discount on medicine as well. But you cannot be a senior, cannot get a senior's card unless you're a Filipino citizen, even if you are a senior citizen. Now, some stores waive that, senior citizen, Filipino senior citizens, but some don't. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know about the senior citizens thing. I even went, and this is another thing. The drugstore, I'm going to tell you something. These people are trained to do a job. They are not trained to do the job that they are trained to do, though. The drugstore where I went, 360 in Poblacion, the pharmacist, I said to her, I'm 65. Do I get a senior citizen's discount? No, sir. Why? Do you have a senior citizen's card? I said, no. This is a year ago. And I said, well, how do I get one of those? Go to the municipality. The freaking municipality has 40 different offices at the municipality. Which office? You go there and ask, sir. So I went down and I asked, and they sent me to an office, and I sat down in the office, and when it was my turn, the woman said, no, sir, this is the mayor's office. You have to go to another office, wherever that other office, across the street. So I went across the street, and I sat down there, and then I said to them, I want to apply for a senior citizen's card, and they said, are you Filipino? And I said, no. And they said, well, you cannot apply for a senior citizen's card unless you're Filipino. So unless they've changed the rules in the last year, you cannot go on a senior citizen's line. Oh, I know who waives that. Who waives that is the bank. The bank, not in the ICM mall, one of the banks I have an account with, they don't have a senior line that I know of in the ICM mall. But they have a senior line in another bank that they'll, if you're just a senior, period, they'll waive not having a card. Hold on a minute. No, Salamat. So, so there is a senior citizens card. All right. Okay, we're not going to have any reasons on here as to why people are walking off the job, whether it's true or not. It's just not allowed. So don't put it on my channel, please. Thank you. The rules are the rules. You put it on my channel, and then I get in trouble because you put it on my channel because you want to be Mr. Information. I know exactly why everything is going on, but you're not allowed to talk about certain things anymore. What don't you understand? Or did you not get the memo? YouTube is cracking down on certain pieces of information, so just don't put that stuff on my channel, please. I'm asking you nice. If I see another one, then I'll realize that you're doing it on purpose. People are leaving their jobs, but I don't want to know why. I don't want you to write down why either. So please don't do it again. Amazing thing what's happening in this world. Not allowed to do certain things anymore. Things that you used to be allowed to talk about, you're just not allowed to talk about that stuff anymore. It's not complicated. It's what I've been telling you is going to happen for 12 years, 11 years. I told you this was going to happen. I have hundreds of videos, thousands of them perhaps, that they were going to institute new rules. And they were going to, a small group of individuals that control the world were going to control the world even further. We know that is now a fact. Everybody didn't believe it, but now it's factual. And now you're not allowed to talk about that. So please don't put that stuff on my channel. Thank you. All right, so, the sledgehammer. Let me show you this sledgehammer. This guy, I'm walking down the block and I see this sledgehammer on the floor. This has got to be the coolest sledgehammer I ever seen in my life. So let's get the sledgehammer up there. Whoa, what the hell is that? Oh, okay. How do I make this bigger? Okay. Look at this sledgehammer. It's made out of rebar. It's made out of rebar. In fact, I have the video loaded, which gives you a better shot. But it weighs about 18 pounds. And it's made out of, looks like number 5 or 6 rebar. And the handle is rebar as well. The handle is 2 pieces of rebar. And the head, I don't know how many pieces were there, 14, 15 pieces of rebar. And the thing is heavy. Let me get the video up. I'll show you the video. And I'll show you the guy who made it. What a cool What a cool video this is. I'm going to be posting this video in probably tomorrow, or maybe even later today. How do I get past that? I get past it like that. Okay. I have another 3 seconds and we'll be there. Okay, here we are. Look at this sledgehammer. And I stopped and I talked with the man. The reason I didn't post the video yet is because I forgot the guy's name. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 13 or 14 pieces of rebar make up the hammer itself. And then the handle is rebar as well. And, And for a shock absorber, he's using black electrical tape. Come on. When I saw that, I'm going, and so I picked it up and I whacked a piece of concrete with it, and it works. This thing is 5 years old, and it's not even beat up. I'm thinking about making one myself just for the hell of it. I'll use some rebar scraps. Here's the creator of the tool, and I don't have the video public because I forgot the guy's name. I have to listen to the video. But this man built this rebar sledgehammer 5 years ago, and the woman that you're going to see in the picture in a minute was his friend. Yeah, Tommy. I call the guy a genius. I told him, you're a genius, dude. You made, this is genius at work. It's in the video where I call him a genius too. I'm not kidding about that. I've been in the construction industry for my whole entire life, and I never saw a rebar hammer. That's why I'm thinking about, I'll just take a bunch of scraps and build one. It would be a perfect thing to do with scraps. Not hard, that's for sure. And this guy's been using this hammer to do demo work for 5 years. And it's not beat up, it's not worn out. How the hell do you wear something like that out? And we were laughing that the guy is a genius, and the woman was laughing also because it's such a unique tool. And let's see where we're... And there it is, baby. And this would do some damage because it's got a square edge on it. That was really cool. So I got that guy's name in the video. I just have to go back and review the video and see what his name is. I want to put his name in the title. I don't know that he'll ever watch it, but I thought it was really cool to see that. It is. It's a piece of art, man. It's a piece of art. And it's not like you can't do any damage to it. And not only that, no one else can walk off the job and put it in their gang box and say, oh, yeah, that's my sledgehammer. That ain't going to happen. That is so cool. I gave the guy as much. I shook his hand. I told him that's genius. All right, thanks, Bummer. Thanks, Bummer's Waffle House. Yeah, nothing personal at all, my friend. Nothing personal. Thumbs down. Yeah, okay. So, nothing personal, but you know that we're not allowed to put certain stuff on YouTube anymore. You can put it on your channel, Bummer's Resto House. Please do. Build up a channel and put it on your channel, and then... All right, your history now. I cry too much? Adios, asshole. All right, so you were basically trolling me the whole time. And you put that crap up on my channel to get me in trouble. So now we'll just shit can you from my channel as well. I don't understand why you people do this. I don't understand what benefit that you get out of this. I don't understand it. Where was I crying? Tell me where I was crying. Now go, you know what? Put it on your channel. Make a video that I cried too much. You are a piece of shit. You know that? You come to my channel. See, this is what the trolls do. This is a professional troll, this Bomber's Restaurant. Hide user on this channel. Now, everything that you came to my channel to talk about is all gone. It's all gone. You came to my channel to build up some kind of camaraderie between me and you by putting truthful shit on my channel, and then you put shit on my channel that'll get me a strike. You're a piece of shit. Blogger is what you are. Put it on your channel, Bill. Make a channel called Bummer's Resto Bar, and put videos up or make live streams on your channel, and put whatever information you want about me on your channel. But you're not gonna come to my channel and cross me and think I'm gonna just eat it like that, like the coward, the slob. You remember the slob, the coward? You should probably be almost forgetting him in your mind now. It's 9 days since the slob has done a live stream. Why? Because whoever and whatever they said to the slob in Pattaya, as far as in Treetown, if they did threaten him in Treetown, or if there were threats outside the building of Treetown, or if there were threats after the videos he made in Treetown abusing John 555, he took them serious, because it's 8 days since he took the videos down where he run his mouth that he's going to kick everybody's ass and shut everybody down. It's been 8 days since I told everybody that he was a coward. And if he wants to prove he's not a coward, put the videos back up public. You can do it, Bummer's Resto Bar. You could be just like the slob. You can build up a channel and put whatever you want on the channel. And then when someone comes along and smacks you on the wrist, then you'll know that you're not allowed to do that. Strikes or personal vendettas against you, perhaps. I don't know. I would imagine that Bummer's Resto Bar is the vice president of the gay community known as LTRBSTUSSRV. It's a very high echelon of gays in that follow the 007 slob / coward / liar. So I would imagine that the real name of Bummer's Resto Bar is a guy named Richie, who is the vice president of the highest echelon of gays in the LBRTSTTUVREX community, the highest echelon of the gay community in that follow the. I do believe now at this point, I do believe, because there are so many people that 007 slob interacts with that have tendencies to interact with other people that are part of the gay and lesbian, the LVSTWRVTX community. I believe that Bummer's Resto Bar is really that guy named Richie, aka 007 slobs / coward / liar's best friend and troll. So this is what a professional troll looks like, folks. This guy came on giving good information, and then he puts shit on in the information that you're not allowed to really post, hoping that I'll get a strike. The same piece of shit may have been pretending to be Roberto last week. I don't know, because you can't go back, you can't trace it back anymore to people's channels. So you really don't know who is who in the chat window. That's why I have to watch the chat, because I have a propensity to remember who is who in how they word and phrase shit. So this guy, Bummer's Resto Bar, whatever he was, whoever he is, he's a professional troll that will build up confidence in you or somebody else and then throw a zinger in there and start posting shit that goes against YouTube's guidelines, and you won't be paying attention to him. Got to pay attention. So, Richie, you're a coward. And, of course, how do I know that the slob, 007 slob / coward / liar, is part of the STRVUQB STLAVE gay community? Well, his best friend and the man he sleeps in the same room with occasionally is a guy called Ben Gay. I mean, not Ben Gay. I forget his name. But I call him Ben Gay because he likes women as much as he likes men, ladyboys. So, yeah, the slob's best friend, and the one he takes out to dinner and lunch and breakfast with all the time, the one you see him waking up in the hotel room with and then taking out to breakfast the next day, that's a guy named Ben Gay. Not Ben Gay. I forget the guy's last name. Anyway, yeah, the slob is very much associated with the gay community, especially the gay community from the Bantayan Island area, who passed the golden torch from himself onto 007 / slob / coward / liar and Richie to abuse Michael Fazio and Barry Jordan, the great Barry Jordan. So we also see tendencies from the Bantayan community to be associated with the gay community, because if you recall, the Bantayan community blogger was very much friends with Aloe, and Aloe is straight up and down gay. He's admitted it in oh so many ways, which is cool. I mean, at least he's out of the closet now. But I'll repeat it. If I showed you the pictures that Aloe sent to me from a gay website of men doing things to other men with their arms this deep up to the elbow, and I gave those pictures and I made a video of it and gave it to the NBI. Even the NBI has never seen pictures that Aloe posted on the Facebook page. And I have the link and the page, and it's all documented in video format. So Aloe is a straight up and down. To get to a site like that, a gay website on the dark web, I think they call it, no normal person would go there. I mean, maybe it's not abnormal to go there if you're a normal person. I don't know anybody that goes there. I've never been on the dark web. But the gay community in Bantayan Island also associated with, in the beginning, because the ladyboy lover in Manila, Jeff, him, because they were both against me, at odds with myself, they became buddies. Aloe and the gay community leader in Bantayan Island became buddies. The gay community leader in Bantayan Island and that other guy, Andy, they became best buddies. Yeah, there's a whole community of a private community, and somehow they know who each other are, and they find each other. Word phrases, maybe hand motions, secret. I do know there's a secret handshake that the gay community has where right away you shake the hand of a gay man. You shake the hand of a gay man, and they'll let you know right away if they're gay. So they'll let you know right away. Slob. Slob. First of all, I don't believe that was the slob, but if it was the slob, come and keep your promise, slob. That's what I got to say about that. Just keep your promise. Do what you said you were going to do, and then we'll see who owns whom and how. Just do it. Don't run your mouth like you ran your mouth in Pattaya. Don't run your mouth like you ran your mouth in Treetown, and the next day you take a plane or a bus or a train or whatever the hell you took from Pattaya to Bangkok because you're a coward. Don't do that. No. Fulfill your dream. Fulfill your dream and run your mouth where you said you're going to run your mouth. Fulfill your dream. Fulfill your dream. Go ahead, do it. This is not Pattaya, my friend. That's true. That's probably true. Bantayan brawler. Well, now that's what I mean. Whoever that guy is pretending to be the slob, it may very well be the slob, 007 slob / coward / liar. But just remember now, 10 days ago, I put up a video saying that the slob is a coward because the 3 videos that he talked tough guy shit to against John 555, Brian Flowers, and other bloggers that I don't remember their names in Treetown, that he was going to shut down Treetown. He was going to shut down blogging in Treetown. He was going to shut down live streaming in Treetown. He was going to show everybody what a deep state agent he was. He never did that. The next day, that same night, he got kicked out of Treetown and ran down the block like a little girl and left his street walking girlfriend in the lurch with no money. And then hid in an alley. That video was, somebody has that video somewhere, but he has it because he was the one who live streamed him running down the block and then hiding in the alley. Now there's a 5-minute version of it up that he cut out, or someone cut out the hiding in the alley and peeing in his pants part of it, but there is a 5-minute version where he was running away from the street walker, jogging, not so much running, and faster and faster, and then hid in an alley. That's one. Then there was one then there were 2 more from the hotel room what a tough guy he was going to be the next night going back to Pattaya, and he never went back. So there's 3 videos he took down that proved that he was going to be a tough guy, and then when he was supposed to be in Pattaya the next night, he was in Bangkok. And why? Well, I have a good memory when I don't like someone or when I like someone. He was in Pattaya because, number one, business came up. Some bologna and cheese business. Liar. That's the part where he's a liar. Because he was going to be in Pattaya the next night. So he didn't have any business in Bangkok. So what happened? At 11 o'clock at night in Bangkok, he gets an email that he has to be in Bangkok the next day at 11 o'clock. What was so important that he had nothing? He didn't show us any of that. So what was so important was that he got his tushy out of Pattaya, because whatever they said to the slob, I believe he took it serious. And he took it serious when he was running down the block like a little girl. So as far as owning me, no, not at all. You don't own me. I don't own you either. All I did with you is I proved that you're a liar and a coward, because you have the videos that you can repost to show everybody how John 555 cowered down to you, which he did not. He went like this. He waved his hand like he was whooshing a fly off the side of a plate. You backed up in fear, took 2 steps backwards, said, okay, and then you walked away. I'm going to leave. You're a coward, dude. Even, what did you think? John 555 was going to jump up and slap you in front of 100 people? He might. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you didn't leave, he would have done that. I don't know, John. I don't know. I don't know that he would do that in front of 100 people. But you backed out like a little girl, backed down like a little girl from John 555. Whatever he said to you, he went like this with his hand, very slowly, one time. Whatever he said, and you froze like a deer in the headlights. You backed up a step and a half, 2 steps. Said, okay, I'm leaving, and then you walked away saying, we're out of here. Walk back to your table. Because you're a coward, dude. You could have stood there and argued the point with John 55. What 555? What was he going to do? Jump up and bitch slap you in front of 100 people? Probably not. But you didn't even want to go there because you don't have half the colognes of what you pretend that you have. You don't have any of that. Any of that bravado. It's all false bullshit. If you did, you could have at least argued the point with the guy. Said, who do you think you are? Or, who the hell do you think you are, John 55? You don't tell me what to do. But in fact, he did. He told you exactly what to do. And you punked out. And that was 10 days ago. You haven't made a live stream since. Except for one that I saw that somehow, maybe within 48 hours of the time that you punked out and ran to Bangkok, within 48 hours of that date, whatever date that was, you made a video that someone was following you. And you knew they were following you. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. And you made a video saying, I know that you sent people and I know someone was following me. And since then, you've never made another video that you posted. So maybe somebody was following you, or maybe you just put that video up to cover your ass that you're a coward and you ran away from John 555 and Brian Flowers and their crew in Pattaya. Maybe. I don't know what's true, because you're just a liar. You lie about so many things. You lie about stuff that's inconsequential. And you have people that somehow follow you when you lie. You talk about the woke community and how people are being deceived by all of these new laws and rules and shit. And you are just as much part of the woke community, being a big mouth coward liar as everybody else. This is the new tough guy shit on YouTube. This is the new tough guy, the woke community. I can say anything because I'm online, but then when the stuff hit the fan in Pattaya, you ran away like a little girl, dude. Don't tell me you didn't. Put the full 20-minute video back up. The one you ran into the alley and you had to pee and you peed all over your hands and you were shaking piss off your hand. Put that video back up. Put the video back up from the hotel room that you're going back and you're shutting down everybody. You're a deep state agent, that you work for Trump or the Biden administration. So much nonsense came out of your mouth when you went back to the hotel room. It was hard to keep track of it. Then you made another one that you were definitely going back to straighten everybody out and shut down the live streaming in Traytown. And then 12 hours later, you were in Bangkok. Well, at least 21 hours later, you were in Bangkok. Never kept your promise about going back to Tree. Why don't you go back to Treetown now? Make a video, tough guy. Make a video, slob. Make a video, coward. Make a video, liar, that you're going back to Treetown. Announce the date and the time that you're going back there, and go back there on that date and on that time. And what you're going to do, what you're going to say when you get to Treetown. Go ahead, do that. I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't do it, but you're such a tough guy. Why don't you put up the videos of John shooing you away like a fly off the table and you freezing like a deer in the headlights? Put up the video. Show us how scared John was. John was not scared of you at all. You don't own me. and you'll never own me. You don't have what it takes. You believe me when I tell you you don't have the tools necessary to own me. You can post shit on YouTube all you want, but you can't back it up. And if you do try to back it up, then we'll see what happens. Then it becomes real. Real, real, really real. How real do you want it to get? Just do what you said you were going to do, and we'll find out how real it gets. Bantayan Brawler says, put up a tree town. So I should. And he won't come anywhere close. I should put up Tree Town 2 on the front of my house. Tree Town 2. John 555. You gotta hand it to that guy. Never lost his cool, didn't lose his composure, just swooshed the slob away like a fly off the edge of a plate. Just went like this. He didn't do it fast. He didn't do it with his shoulder. He just went like this. Go away. Like, just go away. And the slob froze and went away. Cowered down in shame, by the way. So, hey, Barry. I hope this is the real Barry. I see that you have, your girl is coming on the 27th, you said. We're all looking forward to seeing a video of that. Definitely looking forward to seeing a video of, I think you said the girl that was in the bikini, and then you got another one coming the week after that. You're the man. You're like YouTube's up-and-coming Casanova. Yep. Okay. I think that's so cool. And I really like the fact that you are communicating with the husband of a so-called woman, and that I like that the husband is thinking about pressing charges. I enjoy listening to that. I think I think that's pretty cool, because for somebody that's made out of Teflon, that would certainly be a blow to a Teflon blogger like the head of the Bantayan Gay and Lesbian, the STRVQB STV Bantayan Blogger Gay and Lesbian Community. That guy would definitely be screwed if the ex or the separated husband of a certain woman were to file charges against him. God, that would be devastating. That would be devastating. So if you are really the great Barry Jordan, who was all over these bars in Mobile and the street stores and stuff like that, I think people need to hear more of that. I think people need to hear more of how, because I can't say it because I didn't talk to Jimmy. But if you really are in touch with Jimmy, I think people want to hear that. I think that would be a good direction for your channel to go in. Because apparently the guy just thinks he's made out of Teflon, and that one guy named Jimmy could take him down in a day. As soon as he got back to the Philippines, one day, he'd be toast. All the other cases and all the other people and all the other possible charges and all the other venues that are going against that guy, Jimmy could take him down in an hour with one document. Hey, he's sleeping with my separated wife. Hey, that's against the law. I think you should go in that direction. I love hearing that shit. Because he's got no defense against that at all. Nothing. No defense against that. I think you're a little bit over the top with what you say with some of the other stuff you talk about. I think that there's some exaggeration. But if what you're saying about Jimmy G is true, I think you should work that angle. Because that will shut him down. That will stop him from coming back. Hey, LaRue Segrest is here. Let's give LaRue, baby. LaRue is a very good woman. So we'll give her a little Christian shout out. LaRue Seagrass. Oh, she's a vlogger and much more. She's a blogger. She's come for more Michael FAZIO videos. Salamat to LaRue Seagrass. Thank you for stopping by and giving me a rest. Salamat. Hello, LaRue. Now, LaRue is a actual blogger, an actual Philippines woman that does vlogging. And she's very animated. I love to watch her. I don't always say hello because she's on at, like, I wake up for water and I see LaRue plugging away at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'll just give it a thumbs up and leave. I don't want to talk to anybody. When my brain is, when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I need to use the facilities, the CR, and I need water. We gave it the old Del Fuego. 4 gulps and 7 bubbles each, baby. We got a Del Fuego swig in there. Yeah, LaRue was on at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, all animated. Hey, Jack, lurking. Hey, it's Jack. Jack is lurking. He was lurking this whole time, waiting and lurking and lurking and waiting. Hey, Jack Hammer, baby. That guy's going to put you out of business with that sledgehammer. Wait till you see this video, Jack. I should have made the guy hit something with the hammer. I smacked a piece of concrete. It works, that hammer. And the guy was in his street clothes, so I didn't really ask him to. I could have asked him to go down the hill. I was kind of in a hurry because I was in between hospitals looking for my medication, but that was just a off the cuff video of a street, an interesting topic in the streets of Philippines. That was pretty cool. Jack Hammer. So we can call you the secondary Jack Hammer. That guy is the real Hammer. That guy is the real McCoy. You are just Jack. We'll just go back to calling you Jack Strap. Jack Strap. You're welcome, LaRue. Yeah, now that Jack Hammer is here, now the whole crew is back here. Yeah, so I think it stopped raining. It did. And you want to know something else that I did yesterday? I took this tire from the hand truck. I was right about the tire in the hand truck, by the way. I said that I had put 23 pounds of air in it and it blew the tire apart. I was right about that. It actually blew a hole on the seam here, right on this seam. It actually blew a hole in the tire. And you could put your finger in it. So I even said that this was folded for such a long time. And watch this. See this part right here where it's folded? Look, see? Watch, I'm going to just let it fold. See this part where it folded? That's where the hole is. So where the tire was folded, at least since 2016 when I bought it in America, but could have been even further back. It could have been 2011. I had these tires. I don't know. But where it folded like that, right there on the fold, that's where it blew apart. So it wasn't, I didn't pinch the tire. I know I didn't pinch the tire because when I put it in, it stayed hard for the 2 hours I was in my shop. But then overnight, the pressure separated the seam. So here it is right there. I went to, aside from 18 pharmacies, I went to Tire Queen. You think I don't do anything when I'm not off YouTube. I went to Tire Queen, in and out. I was the first person in only person in Tire Queen at, when I got to the city, it was about 11:45, I guess it was. And I was the only person in Tire Queen. I said, do you have this? They said, no, sir. They knew right away. Then I took it to Build-A-Wear. They don't sell tires. I took it to there's an automotive store right outside Build-A-Wear. They don't sell tires. Not like this anyway, not small tires. They smell like wheelbarrow tires. I took it to Fix Right Hardware store in ICM Mall, and I took it to a bicycle tire shop even. They don't have it. So I was even willing to buy the tire and make it back into a tubeless, nothing wrong with the rim, but they didn't have the tire or the tube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to bring this to a vulcanizing shop and see if they can vulcanize something on top of that, because other than that, I won't have a hand truck. Or I cut the valve out of the rim already. I could put a new valve stem in there and try to seal the rim better on the tire, but the tire is, the tire, I've had the hand truck. I want to tell you how old that hand truck is, the one I showed you in the video last week. I got that hand truck in 1973 or 72. Okay? So what is that, 50 years old? 82, 92, 102, 112, 49 years old. The tire on the hand truck is 49 years old. Not the tube, but the tire. So it's very hard. Airless tires are what we use. I don't know that they have the compound here to make an airless tire, Jack. I could inquire about that. I know there's a foam that you put in the tire and it hardens up. I never thought about that. Let me write it down. What did I do with that bag? I have to carry 3 books. One is for equipment I need for the hotel. One are for foods and miscellaneous, and one is for notes that I make off the top of my head of stuff I need. So here's the book. Oh, see this belt here, 94.90? Bring belt, 94.90. You know why I had to put the word bring there? Because I went to Tire Queen and the other tire shop that I shop at, and I gave them the belt number. Belt number. It's a belt for an industrial street saw to cut concrete and tarmac. It's a 14-inch street saw. It's a $900 saw. And I have the belt number. I gave them the number. Sir, you have to bring the belt in. I said, well, here's the number right here, 9490-000. Sir, you have to bring the sample in. They will not replace a belt with a belt number because they're still working out of books, out of paper books, loose leaf books, spiral notebooks, black notebooks. So I need to get the belt and bring the belt into the city, which is not problematic, but they will not look for that tire without seeing the tire. They will not look for the number of the tire, the size of the tire. Now, I might be able to get that from Shopee. It's freaking hard living here and doing business. So the woman was all sure she had the belt, which I don't believe a word of. But she wants a sample. Both women, both counter people. In fact, all the counter people for both automotive. Here, you want to hear a story? I'll tell you a story. 2 automotive supply warehouses, the 2 biggest in Bohol, both are owned by Chinese or Chinese Filipinos. Both of them. And both of them only employ women behind the counter. No men at all. 0. Never was a man behind the counter. Never saw one behind the counter. However, the men go get the parts. The men are in the warehouse and go get the batteries and the parts. But the women, 100% women behind the counter. And most of them actually know where everything is or how to get to everything. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but they don't employ men behind the counter at all, ever. Not in 7 years. Oh, yeah, right. I was writing this stuff down. Let me... goop. Let's see. What is that called, that tire stuff? Tire... I could just write tire. Tire fill. F-I-L-L. Hell, I could fill it up with concrete and be better off than an empty tire. In fact, that's an idea. I have styrofoam. Worst comes to worst, I'll mix up I'll crush up a piece of styrofoam. If I can't buy the filler that turns into a hard rubber, you couldn't use foam sealant because that would crush down. You can't use no, that's what I just said. You couldn't use expandable foam because that gets hard, and every time you hit it with the tire, it would crush down a little bit. I could make up a very rich mix of cement, styrofoam. I crush the styrofoam up into balls and mix up, we call that, it's like a vermiculite mix. That would get hard enough. Or I could just try to get the chemical to fill your tire up. Like on my Bobcat, you could you shoot it into the tire and it just becomes a hard foam. An expandable foam, but not the only foam that I would be able to buy here is the shit you'd put between an air conditioner and a wall. And that gets hard and brittle. I know what you're talking about. But it has to turn into an expandable foam that's hard, that won't, and resilient. I could do that. I wrote it down. Tire fill. I have to go online. I made an order for Shopee. I made 5 orders on Shopee. 5. 10 days ago. I just spent the whole day on shopping. Most of what I wanted was out of stock. So at the end of the day, when I say the end of the day, 4 hours. After 4 hours, 5 items were in stock. So I ordered them. And I went to pay with my credit card, and Fix-A-Flat is not going to seal the rim. The tire is just really hard, Jack. The tire actually holds air. It did from pumping air into it at 25 psi. Hey, Nova. The tire holds air for about an hour, but you have to put a rope around it and, buckle out the tire. The tire's just too hard, and there's too many places that it leaks. Could probably put Fix-A-Flat in it. It might work, it might not, but I'm not going to spend $8 for a can of Fix-A-Flat, and then it's not going to work. I'll just buy the foam. Anyway, yeah, that's an idea to see if I could buy that foam that gets hard, like that they use in backhoe. They use it in Bobcat tires. They use it in backhoe tires too, but the problem with that stuff is it makes the tires so heavy that the tractor or the Bobcat has an additional several hundred pounds of weight. But it does turn into like a rubber, liquid rubber. I'll look online for that. I need to get that tire fixed because I'm going to start using that hand truck. I would even buy another whole wheel. They don't even have that. You know what I could do? I bet if it falls short, of being able to buy that shit, maybe I could buy 2 wheelbarrow wheels. I got to get that thing fixed. And if they had like 2 small wheelbarrow wheels, like 12-inch wheels, I'll buy the hub and the wheel itself, the whole assembly, and just put it onto the axle. That's a possibility. I need to fix that hand truck. I need to get the axle measurement. I could just take the one tire that's good off of there and put 2 separate tires on altogether. 2 brand new tires and rims. I bet you that would work, because then I would just have a different sized pneumatic tire. What would it interfere with? No, it won't work. It would interfere with the foot on the... I think it would interfere with the foot on the hand truck. Unless I could get small tires, 2 separate altogether small tires. In America, you just go online and you look on Northern Tool, and you order 2 of them. You order tires, rubbers, wheels, whatever you want. Go to Home Depot, go to the tire department, order it right there. Go on eBay, order it. Here in the Philippines, nobody has it. Nobody knows where to get it. Nobody will order it for you. It's not in anybody's catalog. Fuck. It's hard living here and doing business. It's hard. Well, let me see. I should look up. I'll tell you right now. So I ordered 5 things from Shopee, right? They would not take my credit card. My credit card is, I got a new credit debit card. They won't take that. They tell me COD. So here we are back to that bullshit with the COD, what day it's going to come, and then the day that you stay home, and or the week. They give you a week that it's going to come, the week of November 1st. Your order should be here the week of November 1st. They want you to stay home from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night and wait for a fucking order that's only costing you $12. But they want you to stay home. They don't text you and tell you that the order's coming. The idiot on the motorcycle that brings the order pulls up in front of your house and texts you that we're here. They won't give you like a day notice or a notice in the morning, like your order is going out today for a fact. No, they give you a week that it's gonna be here this week, and then when they get in front of your house, they text you to see if you're home. This place is so hard to do business. Just send out a damn text when you put the order in the bag, when you leave the Shopee distribution center. Put the damn order in the bag and send out a text that your order is coming today before 5 o'clock. They won't do it. They just don't have the brain functionality to be able to do something simple like that. They just refuse to do it. They send a driver out with, I don't know, it depends on how much his truck or motorcycle can carry. And if he gets to your house, they stand in front of your house and make the text. So if you're not there, you don't even have time to react to the text. They leave. And then I don't know how many times they'll come back and try it again. I always usually stay home. But I can do that. These sons of bitches, they don't care that you stay home for... They'll tell you to come... Your order's coming on the 9th, and then at 5 o'clock on the 9th, they say your order has been changed to the 18th. And then on the 18th, they tell you that your order has been canceled due to damage to the packing. Fuck, how do they do business here at all? It amazes me. Anyway, and that's not crying to Bama's, whatever that piece of shit's name was. That's not crying. That's telling people how it is here. They don't give a shit that you wait home all day or 3 days for an order that never does show up. They don't give a shit about your time here. They don't go out of their way 1 second in any direction to make your life easy. They just say that the order's coming the week of the 1st. Stay home between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night. So that means for the whole week, you can't leave the house, you can't go food shopping, you can't go to the drugstore, you can't go to the supermarket, you can't go to the doctors. Is that crying, or is that giving people valuable information as to how screwed up their delivery system is here? It's the latter, asshole. Don't come to my channel and tell me I'm crying when I'm giving you people valuable information. Okay, 2 hours of this is enough. Okay, 2 hours of this is enough. And we'll thank everybody for stopping by. I'm gonna... Whoa, the sun just broke out. Did you see it in the background there? Just as soon as I said the sun broke out. I'm gonna go do... I'm going to fix my... when I told you people 2 weeks ago that my stove and my microwave, that were both out on the bench in the back, Everything you buy here lasts 3 years. And some piece of crap said, can you prove that you only bought the microwave 3 years ago? Well, first of all, if I said it, it's true. It's all the proof that you need. So I know for a fact it's 3.5 years old, but that's not the point. It lasted 3.5 years. My stove, I tell you what, I brought the stove in, I fixed it somewhat, because in 3 years, the stainless steel ring, which is not non-magnetic stainless, it's magnetic stainless. It's a piece of shit, this stove I bought. I paid $50 plus for this stove. Let me show you what happened to this piece of shit stove in 3 years. And I don't cook every day. I brought it in. I fixed it somewhat. I'm going to buy another one. But that's not the point. The part of the ring on top of the stove that holds the burner, it just rusted out. I put a pot on it a couple of weeks ago and the pot just went on an angle. Everything they sell you here is shit. Electronics, the refrigerator, the magnets on the refrigerator door don't work anymore. You have to put a rubber band on my refrigerator to keep the doors closed. The refrigerator is first thing we bought, 3.5, almost 4 years old. The magnets in the rubber around the seal of the refrigerator, they just wore out. You have to put a rubber strap on the refrigerator door. Both doors, top and bottom. How fucked up is that? Very, very much. Because what else is there to a refrigerator? Doors. The only thing that could be fixed or be problematic is the door. Refrigerator motors usually last 20 years. So now, if you don't put the rubber strap on the door, for no reason at all, the door will just open up. Walking across the floor will open up the door. Anything will just open the door. The door will just open up. You'll close it. It'll get a little bit of a vacuum seal, and 5 minutes later, you look, the refrigerator door. How fucked up is it? Very fucked up buying this Chinese shit from China. Everything is from China now. Everything is from China. So I'll show you the straps I have on the refrigerator door. You want to move to the Philippines? Bring your own shit, because nothing you buy here is going to be of any value. So here is here's the stove. You think I'm kidding you? This piece of shit. Now I still have to adjust it more. Now I'm going to try this one time. I just brought it in. Look, see this ring here? This is stainless steel. But underneath here, it rusted out. And the part that holds the burner from falling down is gone. There's nothing left around this ring here. It's just rust. There should be a flange. The flange just wore out. So I put some 3-inch screws in here to hold up the burner. That's what I did. Now, it's $50 for another piece of shit like this, and I just didn't have time. I have it written down. Yeah, and then, yeah, you like drywall still? Yeah. I have some baling wire to adjust it. On this one, there's baling wire to adjust the height up and down. It's a piece of shit. Thank you, LaRue. So this is 3.5 years old. So where in the world can you buy a piece of shit? except from China, that only, yeah, you could see the rim right here. It's just all wore out. And that metal, that silver thing in the bottom should be underneath this to catch crumbs and so on and so forth. Now this one is altogether garbage, this side altogether. I don't even bother fixing this side because this burner, if you put this burner on, somewhere internally in the wiring, there's a short. So if you put this burner on, you can't touch the stove or you get a 220 volt shock. You can't, if you turn this on, you get a 220 volt shock through the top of the stove, or if you do turn it on and use it, you can hold the handle to the pot, but you can't touch the pot. And if the pot has a metal top, you can't touch the top of the metal pot because it gives you a solid 220 volt shock. It's not like a little zinger. It's a solid shock. Now let's go over to the refrigerator. Look. See the rubber bands? I have to put elastic bands on the refrigerator. Elastic bands. See? That's the elastic bands that hold the refrigerator door closed. Without this, the refrigerator just pops open. Now, why? Because everything they sell you here in the Philippines is shit. It all comes from China. The magnets inside the refrigerator door simply demagnetize. I mean, it happens to magnets anyway. There used to be like a real magnet on refrigerator doors where the magnet, we had a refrigerator that my parents bought when they got married in 1953. We had that refrigerator until Hurricane Sandy in 2010. Now that had a handle lock on it. Like you pull the handle. They don't have that stuff anymore. They just have magnets. And even with my Amana refrigerator, my 27 cubic foot Amana, that had magnets on it. Those magnets on my Amana 27 cubic foot, it was a $1,500 refrigerator in 1977. I had it until 1999, 2000, 2001. So 87, 97. I had it 23 years. 23 years. No, with just the magnets. The door never opened up, ever. So the shit they're selling us from China in the Philippines, if you do decide to come to the Philippines and you can afford it, you should bring your own appliances, and you're going to need an electrical converter from 220 to 110. It would be beneficial to bring your own appliances. So if you have a cargo container that you're going to bring, buy a refrigerator, buy a proper Whirlpool or Amana washing machine and dryer. Buy a proper one. Dryer's a 220, so you don't have a problem with that. But buy a commercial washing machine, because the shit they sell here, they don't have washing machines here that are made out of metal anymore. It's all plastic. Everything is plastic. They don't even have washing machines with a setting for spin dry. They call it turbo tumble. I don't know what the hell that means, but they're $600 for a washing machine that might hold 11 kilos or 11 pounds. I was in front of the pharmacy. I was looking at them yesterday. It's a piece of shit. The the round part, like, and I had a washing machine, a proper washing machine. What company was that? Whirlpool, I think it was. I don't remember. I bought it with when I bought my house. It came with the house in Key Largo, so 1999. I had that until I left the house in 2013. 14 years. Never had a problem with it. That thing would spin dry, and it would be spin dry, and it held 18 pounds of wash. And then the dryer was with the house also, and that stayed with the house from 1999 till about 2007. And then I had to buy a dryer. I bought a new dryer, a good dryer. But the washing machine spun so hard it almost wrung out all the water. You cannot get that here. You're going to take wash out of a washing machine that you pay $600 for, and you could still wring water out of it. They don't have spin dry washing machines that really give it a good whirl. Spin. So if you can bring your own appliances and several 10,000 watt electrical converters, that's what you need to do. If you want to you're not going to buy quality stuff here. It's not even available. You can't even get it. It's not available. It doesn't matter. The biggest refrigerator you're ever going to see here is like 14 cubic feet. The biggest one I ever saw. In Benson's, 14 cubic feet was the biggest refrigerator they had yesterday. I was waiting to go on to the pharmacy. You're not going to get the shit you need here. You're not going to get stuff. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to. Everything lasts 3 or 3.5 years. And then after that, it rots, or just breaks. The motherboard the microwave may be 3.5 years old, but it's only 3 years old because the motherboard broke shortly after I bought it, and they put a new motherboard in. So it's really only 3 years old, and then it broke again. So it lasted 3. The motherboard lasted less than 6 months, and then the motherboard lasted less than a year, 3 years. It's all shit. You saw what happened to the stove. It's all rusted out. It's garbage. The stove's a piece of garbage. But now that I only eat broiled meat on the carnivore diet, I don't need a stove anymore. If I ever need a stove, I'll buy a good stove. What I really wanted to do was go to where they repair stoves, and maybe they have a second-hand stove for $30 with a burner that works. I only need one burner. But the shit you buy brand new, it's a brand new stove. It's not like I don't cook with it outside. I cooked with it in here for 3.5 years, and it rusted out. The heat, the moisture, stuff spilling on the metal, the electrolysis, whatever, for whatever reason. Now, I had a stove in America. We had the stove my parents had when they bought the house in 1960. We didn't get rid of that. We didn't buy another stove until like 2010. So 50 years old the stove lasted. And they only put a new stove in because when my mother died, my brother wanted a new stove because the stove reminded him too much of my mother being alive and cooking. Okay, so now he has a piece of shit stove because the oven doesn't get hot like it's a gas stove, number one. The other one was an electric stove, and it just doesn't cook the same way. You had to get used to cooking a whole different way. So, he worked it out eventually, how to cook with it, but the electric stove that my mother had in the house in 1960 was better than a stove he spent about $1,200 on. Nothing new is good anymore, but If you want a better product, you got to bring it with you. Tools, forget it. I keep telling you people there's no place to buy tools. Built like a Soviet tank. Long time all was built like a Soviet tank, Mike. I don't know that I never heard of that brand. But stuff was built. I'm telling you, my mother's refrigerator they bought in 1953 was in the house until Hurricane Sandy flooded the house, the whole basement. The basement had 7 feet of water in the basement. And the refrigerator went underwater. I don't know if it would have worked after that. Better before quality, yeah, that's true. I don't know, because refrigerator motors are inside of a hermetically sealed unit. And the refrigerator never had to be repaired in 60 years. Never had to be repaired in 1960, 40, 50 years. The refrigerator never had a repairman, ever. Never did it ever have a repair. Never, not even one day. No refrigerator man ever worked on my mother's refrigerator or stove. The burners were replaceable, and you could buy them at an appliance center just a mile from the house, and the coil that made the electric stove was replaceable, easy. My dad used to do that. Shit they sell here in the Philippines, God, I'm surprised there's no way around buying the shit here either. Nothing lasts. It's amazing. It's amazing how they get away with it. Everything comes from China. Everything comes from China. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go plug in the microwave. I'm going to make a video. Or maybe a live stream. I'm going to go plug in the microwave and watch it burn up. Because the last time I plugged it in, it started crackling inside. I don't know from what or why. Whatever happened to it from condensation. But I'm going to plug it in and either blow the circuit breaker or watch it burn up. And it's outside on the dirt. No, I don't have any eggs. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat anything but pork. I don't eat meat, red meat. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat vegetables. I don't eat bread. I'm on a carnivore diet. I eat meat and I drink water. I don't eat any poultry at all. With the shit they feed the chickens for the growth hormone, makes my ankles swell up twice the size. I don't eat anything but pork. Pork is the only thing that doesn't swell. I eat pork for my meal every day. Nothing but pork. No chicken, no red meat, no carrots. The Del Fuego. Carrots have sugar in them. No ketchup, no salt, no bread. No noodles, no spaghetti sauce, no tomatoes, nothing. I eat pork. As bland as it might sound, it's what's making me lose weight. All right, then. Adios, everybody. Tommy, stop. What part of that I don't eat anything but pork did you not understand? Why do you have to exasperate the point? What part of I don't eat anything but pork do you not understand? Why you do that? Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go outside and play in the yard. Bye-bye for now. I'm Ping Permy from Mr. Congeniality. And, hey, Tommy, there is such a thing as... I've had rules that everybody seems to be breaking. Some people I acknowledge, some people I don't. But I really don't want all the input from all these different people. Turned out Barry Jordan whatever service that was a troll. Ricky, some guy Ricky came on as a troll. I really don't want all this input. I can keep the conversation going without the input. Some valuable piece of info to say that stuff was built like a Russian tank years ago. I already know that. I mean, Tommy, you have the ability to create a YouTube channel. And when you do that and you start posting videos, send me the link to your channel and I'll put it in the community post that Tommy is now making videos about stuff. But I really don't need all that input. And if I explicitly, in dozen videos in the last few months, said I don't eat anything but pork, except that at the buffet where I broke that rule and I had a glass of iced tea and I had lettuce, but mostly pork. And then you have to ask about fish. Why? I don't know. I just said I don't eat anything but pork. And 90% of the buffet was either shrimp or pork. But that was at a buffet. What I eat in my house is just pork. I hope we make that clear. I don't understand why after several, it's 85 days now I'm on the carnivore diet. Has anybody ever seen me talk about eating fish? Shrimp at the buffet. But fish, no. So you have to ask about fish. Why don't you ask about lobster tails? Or squid, calamar. I don't have a place to clean it. I don't have the time. Wish, want, will, or desire, and they don't clean it for you at the store. I gotta go. I'm being permy, which means take care always. Bye-bye for now.